Alright, this is a bit of a different video. Instead of giving you a specific build, I'm going to give you a template, and with it you will be able to create your own OP builds by choosing your own weapon and choosing your own style. This is a basic setup that works everywhere, no exceptions. Now it only depends on what type of weapon you're using and what type of configuration you have. Are you going for more elemental damage, more poison, more paralysis and whatnot? That doesn't mean that I won't be doing specific builds anymore, no. I'm just hoping that this will help you guys out in figuring your own stuff as well. You'll be able to create really powerful stuff with this that will help you tremendously in the new DLC and Way of the Demon as well. In this specific video I'm using dual swords for the build, but you can use whatever you want. I also did Japan's Bravest set that is a similar build with spear. Let's start with the Guardian Spirit. For the Guardian Spirit use Kato. Here we are focusing on skill damage, and we also have more ki and more ki recovery speed and close combat attack. Kato is well balanced, probably the best Guardian Spirit in game. For the second one I usually choose attack from behind bonus from Ayako Mori. Now attack from behind has been limited to I think about 50%, something like that. I don't think you can get above that. And these are my two choices. For the stats I would always put magic at least 40, dexterity 15 or 20, spirit necessary to get all the benefits from the Guardian Spirit, in this case Kato and Ayako Mori, spirit is fine at 15. And the rest of the stats should be distributed depending on the weapon that you're using. In this video I'm using dual swords, which means I'm using skill. If you're using something else, you're going to use the corresponding skill to buff it to the maximum. And the rest of the skills I suggest putting the necessary ones to meet the requirements of armor that you're wearing. Go for a bit of a stamina so that you have equipment weight rate below 100, and also put some points in heart, because heart gives you ki, and if you lose ki in game you know what happens. Now don't forget, this is my template, so it doesn't mean that you're going to love it. It might not work for you, you might not like it, but doesn't matter. The only important thing is that it works. Alright, for skills, Omnium Magic, Awakening skill, Weakness Talisman, Protection, Steel and Carnage. These are the must ones. Others you can put in Sloth and go for the passives versus Yokai Realm, damage reduction versus Yokai, and maybe the elemental defense buffs. But the most important ones from here are Steel, Protection, Carnage and Weakness. For Ninja Tree, go for the Enlightenment so that you can use ninjutsu on yourself. Why? Because we're using a quick change scroll. This is the most important one from this tree. That will save your life a lot of times. Now these buffs to speed and reduced ki usage when you dash are optional, you don't have to go for that. I like more speed and less ki usage when I'm running, but quick change is most important. Sneak attack, don't forget to put that one. Increase your elixirs and also get some power pills. And that's it, that's everything that you need from ninja skill tree. Obviously increase ninjutsu capacity as well. Now I'll cover the passives from all the weapon skill trees that you want, no matter what build you're using. Grapple damage passive from Odachi, always put that one. From the Kusarigama traditional ones, increase damage of final blows by 4. Don't forget guys, final blows and killing strike are one and the same. Alright? Increase damage dealt to enemies from behind, also a must. From the X1 get the buff, and also you can get cornered boar down bottom. I forgot to show it in the video here, but doesn't matter. It's called cornered boar. From the spear one you have this if you want, but I don't see that one very useful. From the dual swords get the close combat damage increased against enemies with full life gauge, whatever, I don't know how to pronounce that. And the second one, plus key recovery speed when guarding. Now don't forget that there are a lot of these passives and you're going to spend a lot of points getting these passives. From the sword get the key one, buff to the key, and the first one, from the first line, third one, that increases your key recovery when you're in when your health drops to 30% or lower. Alright, now let's cover the skills that are really good and that are going to get buffed with our setup. For the sword one, get Morning Moon. This will get buffed significantly. And also get Haze from the mid stance. Haze is really good, especially against human opponents. For the Mystic Art, get increased damage dealt when attacking an enemy from behind with a sword. I think this was nerfed slightly, but I haven't played with sword since the patch, so I can't confirm that. From the dual swords, there are a couple of options. More than sword. Sword has least options out of all. Get Windstorm and Water Sword. This is Water Sword. Really powerful against bosses. Windstorm is powerful against everything. And also from mid stance there is a really cool skill called Random Slice. I love this skill, really good. From the spear section, go for the skills like Spearfall, Tornado, and Windmill. Yeah, Windmill is really good when you're surrounded by enemies, weaker ones. This is Spearfall. Really good against a single enemy. Windmill skill, fantastic versus groups. Get the upgraded one. Also get increased thrust damage passive. That only goes if you're using spear. So don't waste points on that if you're not using spear. Tornado skill, one of my favorites. Fantastic skill, really fun to use. Go for the Merciless Barrage as well if you're using a spear. Because when you do it, your enemy will be down and then you can also use a finishing blow. For the Mystic Art, use Stability. From the X tree, you can use Mad Spinner. Absolutely fantastic skill that will get insanely buffed with our setup. As for the Mystic Art, I'm not sure. I think Intensity might be the best one here. Because I haven't played X much. All the skills here that I'm showing you are really good and buffed by our setup. But I think Mad Spinner is the best one. Still, I wish some of you guys that are using X a lot can confirm that Mad Spinner is best, because I only did one build. I haven't played much with it. From the Kusarigama tree, couple of skills as well. Crimson Flurry, really good one against a single target. Whirlwind, fantastic versus multiple enemies, clears out waves of enemies. And many other. But I would say these two are probably the best. I didn't play much with Kusarigama as well, so if there is someone in comment who does a lot of Kusarigama playstyle, please help out. Say what you think is the best one, the best move. What I forgot here is the Mystic Art from Kusarigama tree. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think I would go for the sickle one, the first one, but it's up to you, depending what move you're using. From the Odachi, the new weapon skill tree, always go for the grapple damage and go for the whatever mystic card that you want. I don't think any of these two mystic cards are that good. Yeah, we already covered grapple damage, didn't mean that. There is a Moonlit Snow skill that does a lot of damage, but I personally don't like it. It may be good against bosses, but against multiple enemies it's shit. Twin Moons, also the skill that I've tried to use, didn't work out, didn't like it at all. Doesn't mean that you're not going to like it. I didn't find it very good, because I was playing against humans, bosses and whatnot, and most of them just dodge Twin Moons and the other one. Tiger's Blade is the best skill here, no doubt about it. Also, the second one that is fantastic when Tiger's Blade not working is called the Retrograde Flow. It destroys 1 versus 1. It destroys the key of an enemy, and then you will have a grapple damage and the grapple attack, and then finishing move as well. Fantastic. This is the Retrograde Flow move. How to play it? Well, it's simple. Before a tough fight, not every fight, you put on yourself Carnage, Steel because it negates the debuff from Carnage, and then Protection. And then you put Weakness on the enemy. Now this is for the tougher sections and tougher boss and mini-boss battles. Oh yeah, don't forget to put Quick Change Scroll on yourself as well. Quick Change lasts a long time and it will save you from a certain death. As for the weaker enemies, just use Power Pill on yourself. If you went with that, it will save Carnage for much tougher enemies, and you don't need to use Steel then, because Power Pill doesn't have a debuff. After you've done all that, the only thing that remains is just use skills of your choice. And you should have no trouble clearing anything that you want. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention is use from ninjutsu skill tree recurrent damage from poison or fire if your preferred element of choice is poison or fire. If you're using any of those two setups, then that skill is a must. It will really increase the tick damage over time of the enemy that has been inflicted with it. That would be it, lads. I hope this video helps you with creating your own magical builds. Have fun with it. Check out the description, please, if you are willing to donate to help me with the running costs of the channel and everything else in life. If you don't know why I went to that, there is a video in the description that explains it all. Thank you all for watching, and see you soon.